Good evening, this is Storm Large from Storm and the Balls. This is PDXposed, and we're doing our Portland's Favorite Band episode. And my buddy John here is going to tell you what bands are we looking at tonight.
Well, the first one's Storm Large and the Balls.
Tramp.
Intervision 5.
Awesome.
Justin Hopkins.
Hot.
And Western Aerial.
Rockin'.
And that's it.
And that's how you pull a Clay Aiken.
Hey, this is John Popper from Blues Traveler, and you're watching PDXposed, like it says on the mic thing.
The music industry in Portland is extremely competitive, and you got to have a vision to get ahead. Well, it's perfect for our band tonight on PDXposed. Intervision 5 joins us as our featured artist. Let's meet the band.
Well, my name's Mike. I'm kind of the brainy smurf out of the bunch. I handle all the computer stuff, the website stuff, and promo material, t-shirts.
My name is John. I do play the drums, and I would say that I'm a very attractive man, but I am nowhere as near as hot as Paul.
My name is Paul Creighton, and I sing, and that's about it. I have a gray suit, glasses, and I'm obviously incredibly hot.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm the guitar player. I am definitely not as hot as Paul, but I am almost about as hot as John. So, yeah, that's about it.
My name's Kit, and I play keyboards and sing backup vocals, and I thought I'd keep with the trend of the superficiality, and I put I'm the beautiful keyboard player.
Let's talk about Boise. Tell us about Boise.
I have some luck with the women, so there was an incident in Boise that was good. It was good to me.
Dude, you can't leave us hanging like that. You got to tell us what happened in Boise.
Is this the incident that we speak of, the women incident? I went back to a girl's place and we had some fun. I met her on MySpace, actually. So yeah, it's good for meeting girls.
How did chicks find it? Because I don't know. I mean, you can't deny the other chicks this opportunity.
Rockstar Hottie is actually my MySpace name, and Paul, yeah.
All right. So who inspires you guys musically?
We all have some jazz backgrounds and ensemble backgrounds, so know how to play parts and hit parts. But all in all, just a bunch of we bring something different. Every person brings something different. I mean, he brings some petty, he brings some Latin chops, he brings some Jaco, and keyboard player brings some NSYNC, and it's really nice.
And he brings the chicks. How do you guys keep your music unique? Because there's so many bands out there, especially in Portland alone. I mean, how does your music? How do you keep it unique? How do you keep it your own sound without hearing other people and throwing it all together?
I think just accentuating the uniquity of what each person brings and trying to expand on that between the rhythm section and the keys, and listening to lots of different groups and modeling certain aspects of different bands, just to keep it diverse and keep it sophisticated.
Just like the moon around the earth. Just like the waves against a patient shore, just like the ground beneath our anxious feet, I'm drawn relentless towards your love. Just like the apple from the tree, just like a magnet's raw polarity, just like a word that's pulled from seagrass seed, changing everything I thought of. There goes my comfort zone. I swore I'd spend my days alone. Guess it's time to learn to live within this gravitarium. 'Cause every day we try to plot our future, resisting failings that feel wrong. But in the end we find the choice is never ours. We're like ripples in the world's pond.
You guys have played in a lot of different places. You've had some pretty cool things happen. What's the highlight so far? And second part of that question is, what's the goal?
Okay, Lifehouse. That was pretty big. Yeah, probably the best gig. We got to open for Lifehouse in Boise in October for 4,000 people at the Taco Bell Arena.
Thus far, we've had quite a bit of success. I mean, we started out probably about 2.5 years ago, and look at us now. I mean, we've got our own van, we've got our own equipment, so we've built pretty much from nothing. So I'd say just to kind of keep it as far as it can go.
Just have fun, keep the thing rolling, and hopefully retire from my current position.
I'd like to quit pounding nails for a living, I mean, This is a blast. I can't consider this work, but if it would pay the bills, that would be absolutely incredible.
I'm lucky enough to be able to play piano professionally for a living, but my goal for the band is honestly just I want us to be worldwide known. I'm the dreamer of the group, but I think it's going to happen for us.
Every day we try to mold our future, resisting feelings that feel wrong. But in the end we find the choice is never ours. We're like ripples in the world's ball.
We're very honored to have our good friend Storm back in town and joining us on this episode.
Thank you.
Storm, you just watched Intervision 5. What did you think?
Super danceable, really funky. I love that they're so young and yet they're pulling from a lot of super classic inspirations.
Let's talk about Rockstar Supernova and the road to Rockstar Supernova. Talk about the process of how you got to LA to be on the show.
I got a call from Los Angeles from Mark Burnett Productions saying they'd received a videotape of me performing. Still don't know who sent it in, John.
I didn't. I would have.
Really? Because I still don't know who did. Okay, just checking. In my heart, I do rock and roll music. I'm kind of a punk, and I've never really done television as a job. So it was something completely new, and so I took that chance and I made that choice, and I went to LA and met with Tommy Lee, and I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do. This is Storm Larch for PDXposed. You better come back.
What's happening at Relax the Back? Well, how about your very own customized, ergonomically designed office chair? Miriam.
Nobody does office chairs better than Relax the Back.
So how would you customize one for me?
Well, first of all, I have to ask you questions about how you work. If you sit more, leaning forward, leaning back, I might suggest a different chair for you. Have to set it up for your leg length, your height, how high your desk is.
And then you also have different styles and different leathers.
Different styles and leathers. I can customize the leathers. Like this is really a nice leather with chrome. We don't put chrome on all of them, but we can. This one right here is pretty cool. We have a Texas look.
Ooh, yeah. And you can say that.
I can. I'm from Texas originally. But you can see it has a saddle stitching on the inside. We use 2 different types of leathers for that one. So we can personalize them to have a look that looks like you.
Nobody does office chairs better than Relax the Back. For more information on these office chairs and to get your very own customized office chair, visit either Relax the Back store location or dial the number on your screen. And remember, if you mention you saw it on PDXposed, you'll get a free gift.
I'm Tom with Rockstar Energy Drink, and you're watching PDXposed. Cheers.
These are our friends. One of my favorite songs this man here, Justin Hopkins, does. What inspires you with your music, though? I hear all different styles.
Well, everything, man. Everything inspires you style-wise. I just want to make something that carries out the energy that we want to portray for the song. And I want lyrics to make sense with like the music that you're playing.
Baby, well, my heart's been waiting for the moments to find the words.
There's really no boundaries, man. Influences. We've gotten beat off the sound of the like a spoon hitting a pan. You know, you hear it and it's like ting ting ting. You're like, ooh, nice. Ting 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 ting. Oh, we got something.
Oh my God, give them something to think about. I got the cash, you got the time. What's your fear? We're rolling with a rebel, babe. I'm burning up. You're on fire.
The acoustic song you did tonight, though, it's the first time I heard you do it.
On paper.
What's up with that song? That is a great song.
Oh, well, thank you, John. That's it's a song I wrote when we were first making our last record. We kind of decided to leave some space for really personal, like emotional songs, and that was one of them. With the struggle of being a man, I think, in this culture, and being so. I guess what our human nature tells us to do is go, 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 and get and hunt and gather, you know, and do these things. And the reality is, you've got at some point in time we have to be nurturers too, and I think that's the song is just like, wait for the right moment. I promise when I'm ready, I'll be there. You know.
Don't give up on me now. I am afraid you'll be left out. Just don't stay mad at me, 'cause I am just a man on paper.
This guy's got it down. He's got the guy thing down. He's a great musician, and the chicks were all over the place now. So my next question for you is, how do you fend him off? You're single. You're single right now, man. You're a good-looking guy. You rock it. I mean, seriously.
I don't fend him off, man. I don't know what you've seen of me, but I just kind of let it happen. I've completely put away all self-defense skills. Whatever ravishing happens, I'm cool with.
Dude, that is so open-ended. I can go in so many directions with that right now. So what's next for you, man?
All right, well, we're going back to L.A. We're going to make this record, and then I'm going to come back to Portland, and we're going to rock your socks off. Really. That's the plan.
Like you did
Make
tonight.
our record and come home. So,
you are a homeboy.
Dude, this is my home. This is my home. I love the city more than anything.
It ends tonight.
Thanks to Justin Hopkins for rocking and rolling on our show again. What do you think of Justin?
He is a hottie, and I like that he didn't shave. I like the rough edges. I love that he was sweaty and shiny, because that's a man who gets into it. He's behind it, and he's 100% selling it, and he's in it in the moment. It's really cool. I'm completely sold.
Now you're in LA. We know how you got there. When the whole competition started, who did you think, of the 15 people, who did you think was going to win?
I thought Lucas from really early on. I wanted to win. I wanted to go all the way. But I really thought Lucas or Delana.
You haven't seen the show, so I was going to ask you, what didn't we see? But, you know, that house looked like a pretty comfortable place.
We were all competing against each other, but we were all we had. We could only talk to our families and our loved ones twice a week.
Did you get to look at newspapers? Did you get to watch
Nope.
TV? So nothing. You knew
No
nothing.
newspapers, no television, no internet, no magazines. If we got mail, they read it.
Talk about the feuds that happened in the house, because there were a couple of feuds, like Delana and Lucas, you know.
I fought with Delana a couple times. I fought with Ryan a couple times. We argued. Toby and I would just punch each other for fun. Toby called me, I don't know if you ever saw it on television, but he called me like species. He's like, you're like that hot chick that eats people.
Last question before we go to commercial break again. Tommy Lee, he was totally hitting on you.
He was what?
He was hitting on you. Everybody thought Tommy Lee was hitting on you.
Tommy Lee hit on everyone, but it was in fun. He flirted with me in a way that you flirt with me. It's fun. All Tommy wants is for everyone to have a good time. He's such a sweet guy. His #1 priority is his kids. Second, music. Third, good time. Period. That's where it ends.
Be right back after this.
My name is Storm Large from Storm and the Balls, and you're watching PD Exposed.
It's a rockin' night at Dante's. It's a perfect because Western Aerial is in the house. Let's meet the band.
Joff Metz. I'm a guitar player and singer.
My name's Jimmy Richards. I play bass and sing backup.
Anthony Tripp, and I play the drums.
I've been rocking out your CD all day today. What inspires the serious rock and roll? Because you guys are a pretty hardcore rock and roll band. I like it.
We just write about what we're doing, you know, living in the city, you know, in the Northwest, and playing in bands and hanging out in seedy places like this. No offense, Frank.
So tell me, what rock and roll musicians inspire you guys?
I listen to a lot of like Rolling Stones and Danzig.
Is that a new band?
I've never heard of that.
Perhaps you've
They're
heard
new.
of them, John.
The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks.
I'd have to say Stone Temple Pilots. Like, I met Scott Weiland at Mary's Club one night before they had a big show in town, and then he came out in the pit and just, you know, the energy from the show, I'm like, yeah, that's rock and roll.
All of my life, I feel I've been waiting
There's a shirt going around here, Jimmy Sucks. And I want to know what the hell this means. Who's going to describe this to me?
Yeah.
Why do you suck?
Well, I can't explain that, but maybe she can over there.
Well, according to the T-shirt, Jimmy sucks, but, you know, he's awesome on stage and he's a super nice guy.
The thing I love about them is not only are they a great rock and roll band, but these guys are performers. They just rock. Anthony gets up there and just pounds on them drums. And Jimmy, well, of course, we all know Jimmy sucks, but other than that, he does do good on the guitar, though. And, of course, Joff with his guitar and the two of them singing. And, oh, man, it's just like, it's so cool.
You have this crazy rock and roll style, and I've always wanted to ask a musician like yourself, how do you keep your voice?
Well, the secret is clean living, John.
That's my kind of clean living. How would you all describe your music?
It's just straight up rock and roll. I mean, a lot of our references, people say we're like AC/DC or Everclear or Jet.
We're just a straightforward rock band. We do what we love. We love what we're doing.
It's just rock music, you know, but there's not a whole lot of bands doing that, you know.
I would put them in, like, original, old-school, AC/DC kind of rock and roll. Like, feel good, tap your feet, like, you just want to get involved because they're so energetic and just amazing.
Problems that we started to face, I'd say it's too late. It's never enough to say she ain't. Want it all, I want it now, I want it everything. I want the world, I want it now, now, now. Gonna take it, gonna break it, gonna make it scream. I want it all, I want it now, now, now. If I die tonight, fill my pockets with the best in life. It's never too much, never too soon. It's never enough to say she ain't.
I love Western Aerial. I've actually had the good pleasure to play with them and see them live on several occasions at Dante's, and they always put on a great, sweaty rock and roll show. Grind up and down and like get knocked up in the bathroom kind of music.
You know, it's funny because I actually, like, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of the last part, which you said.
Bathroom,
I can pretty much do that
up.
with any music.
Pretty much.
The city has a good bathroom for that, too, on the top floor, if you're ever down here at the city. Is that a secret?
Yeah, you don't want to say, yeah, my mom and dad met in a bathroom.
Good point. I want to talk about the competition,
Okay.
because that's what we saw a lot of. We saw half of it was in the house, basically, but the majority of it was the competition. How did you guys go about picking your songs?
Usually what would happen is there'd be one song that 3 or 4 people really, really wanted to do. It was really, really important. I was kind of the mindset, like, you know, that's somebody's favorite song. If it's a song that nobody wants, it's on the board because at one point it was a hit.
Right.
So why not? There was a few songs that I really, really wanted to do, but I ended up giving them up because I'm like, I'm not afraid to sing anything.
You more than anybody. It really looked like you really were cheering for everybody, and it really came across.
They're all going through similar things and some unique things, and we're there for each other because we get it, we understand.
You really made Portland proud, the way you handled yourself.
I'm so glad. That was really one of my most precious wishes, was that please don't let me embarrass anybody.
No.
I want to go home to Portland and not be ashamed. You know?
Well, you can hold your head high. You did an
Good.
awesome job. When we come back, Storming the Balls.
Dun, 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 dun.
You guys have to have been living under a rock to not know who our next star performer is on PDXposed, because she has been pretty much hugely large all over Portland for many years, actually. And she's large, large, large today in Portland. Storm Large.
You're making me feel really fat.
No, she's not fat. P-H-A-T fat.
It is really Storm Large. It's Susan Storm Large is my actual real name.
It takes so much freaking energy to do what you do. Where the hell does it come from?
I think I have to. I feel compelled to do it. I always have. That's kind of why I ended up on stage.
When you're having a bad day, though, when you have to suck it up and get up on stage and be super nice and super funny, because she's very, very funny. When you have to be that way, sometimes, like for me, like when I got to be on stage, I just want to tell everybody to go.
See, that's the thing. When I'm on stage, I can tell people to go.
Yes, you can.
And that's funny.
We saw her at Wilt's the other night, and you have sort of a more PG-13 burlesque sort of cabaret show. Tell us about that side of it, and then we'll talk about this side of it.
Well, it gets a little punchy over there too, because it's me, and I'll start talking about something. I mean, a lot of the songs I introduce them, and then people want me to tell stories, and that's kind of part of the show. You gotta wait till you're 21 to have alcohol. But I want you to look around the room at the folks drinking, the folks who are old enough to be drinking, and watch them become more attractive and much funnier as the night progresses and the alcohol is consumed. It's really intimate and everybody can hear really well, and it's a nice mellow atmosphere.
That girl is pretty wild now. She's a super freak. She's the kind of girl you read about in magazines.
Tell us about the songs you're going to sing for us and what we should expect to see.
Probably for licensing purposes, I should have you guys do our original songs. So that would be one of my favorite love songs, which is called "I Want You to Die."
How sweet.
It is sweet. It means I love you.
Because you're alright. Because you're alright. I want you to die. I thought you needed me. Turns out I needed you. Turns out the best thing to happen to you was losing me. Now you're doing fine. In fact, you're doing great. I'm choking on my pride and on my hate. Oh, I can't wait for your demise. I want you.
She can take anything and mold it into something dangerous.
It is so amazingly powerful, and there's such a stage presence, and she's so sultry and sexy.
Sounds like you kind of won her.
Oh, totally.
She's pretty hot too, isn't she?
Oh, she's smoking.
Dude, your shirt, is like the perfect shirt for the night, though. See, my wood is feeling naughty. Tell us about your balls.
I love my balls. My balls are Jimmy Jam's Beaton, awesome keyboard player, Brian Boom Boom McFeather Parnell on drums, who is also brilliant, fantastic, Hot Rod Davey Nipples, who is very sexy and incredible. So I've got aces in my band, and they're just great.
I don't want to say tonight. What the want to say tonight. What the want to want to want to want to want to want to say tonight.
Thanks a lot for joining us on this special band-only episode on PDXposed. And thanks to the City Sports Bar for housing us, for housing Storm, who's one of our best friends on PDXposed. Her music rocks. Cannot wait to hear it when it comes out in February with their newly recorded stuff. Thanks to our sponsors, as always, American Laser, Relax the Back, Comcast, Latitudes, London Influence, and our good buddy Brent at the Showroom. Make sure to go to PDXposed.com right now to register for your chance to win a $1,500 gift certificate from American Laser. We'll see you next time on PD Exposed. Make good memories, everybody.
You need cowbell.
You do.
You always need cowbell and then more cowbell. Were you watching Real Sex on HBO? Okay.
Absolutely. I learned more about you. I already knew that stuff, but...
Bastard! So, I've said this before, but if you put a hot dog on a wheat thin, it's going to look really big. Just saying that. Just throwing it out there. They were so freaked out. HBO.
Okay, great.
HBO was so freaked out that I said that.
Storm, what do you think about Storm?
She's a tramp.